The Seymour Wildcats come into the regular season finale fresh off their two biggest wins of the season. First, coach Paul Sponheimer's team knocked off previously undefeated Derby 26-0. Last week, the Wildcats handled NVL champion Naugatuck 20-6. Seymour is led offensively by quarterback Justin Tanner, running backs Joel Mastro, Dave Costiello, and Moroni Burchell, tight end Mike Gray, and an offensive line ranked among the best in the state. The problems continue for Amity's second-year coach Butch Marazzi. The Spartans have dropped their last 7 games after opening up with 2 wins. Amity has lost the services of senior quarterback Craig Johnson. The Spartans pinned their offensive hopes on running backs Ken Luciani, Stanley Phillips, and Brett Dedman. From Simfield in Woodbridge, it's Seymour against Amity Regional in their traditional season finale on Valley Cablevision's High School Football Game of the Week. Hello again, everyone. Ed Clements along with Buddy Chernovitz from Simfield in Woodbridge. Buddy, the Seymour Wildcats coming off a high, 2 biggest wins of the season against Derby and Naugatuck. But they have the Amity Regional Spartans, and Amity has been tough in this finale the last few years, and Coach Paul Sponheimer of Seymour knows that. He knows that these teams view each other as chief arch rivals.
Yeah, Amity has played Seymour very tough the last few years, but this year, with the loss of Craig Johnson, I think it's going to be a difficult thing for them to be able to muster on offense. That's going to be a key to the football game. If they allow Seymour to control the game, they're going to be in serious trouble. They've got to be able to keep it away from the Seymour offensive team.
All right, let's talk on the other side of the coin about the Amity Spartans. During the week when I came up here to talk to Butch Marazzi, it happened to be the same day that the quarterback, of course, Craig Johnson, had gone down with the injury. He was operated on the other knee. When we had seen Craig earlier in the year come back successfully against the Derby Red Raiders, what does this mean for the second-string quarterback, Bill DeMeo, and what Amity has to do without Craig Johnson?
Well, without Craig, who was the leader of the program, they've got a young quarterback, Billy DeMeo, who has played sparingly at quarterback, but he's got to be able to lead this football team, and I think the biggest thing for Billy is to be able to throw the football. They're going to try and run the option with him, but he's got to be able to throw the football down the field, and I think for Billy, the idea of starting his first game really as a varsity quarterback is going to be important to watch how he handles that type of pressure. He's an outstanding young man and had a tragedy in his own family this week with the loss of his grandmother, so it's going to be interesting to see how Billy reacts to that type of pressure.
All right, now we know what the Seymour Wildcats can do. We know they dominate offensively and defensively. Let's talk about it from Amity's standpoint. What does Amity have to do to stay in this football game?
I think the biggest thing for Amity is to be able to play 14 guys on defense, and since the referees are going to frown against that, they're going to have to really try and contain and do a lot of things that Seymour may not expect. They're going to have to blitz, they're going to have to move their defenses a little bit, and they're going to have to take a lot of chances in order to control that Seymour offense.
And we might look for a few new wrinkles offensively for Amity,
They
too.
definitely put some things in to make Seymour think, but they've still got to execute, and that's going to be the big key. They've got to be able to execute both on offensive side of the ball and on defensive side.
And we'll
of the
be
ball.
right back with the opening kickoff between Seymour and Amity right after these messages. Welcome back, everyone, and we're ready for high school football on our Valley Cablevision High School Football Game of the Week. Seymour Wildcats 7-2 on the season, and an opposite record for the Amity Spartans, 2-7. We mentioned before, Amity won their opening 2 games, and they have a 7-game losing streak. But anything could happen in this traditional finale between these two arch rivals. Seymour, of course, also definitely in the hunt for a Class SS CIAC State Championship berth. And if they do make it, it would be against this very fine Stratford High School football team, ranked #1 in the state, a consensus #1. There you see deep Moroni Burchell along with Fritz back to receive Amity's kick. Seymour winning the opening coin toss and electing to receive. We're underway here. Joe Audie approaches the football, end over end, coming down to Burchell. Burchell upended at the 34-yard line by a host of Amity Spartans at that point. And the Seymour Wildcats will put the football in play, their first play from scrimmage here at Simfield in Woodbridge. Let's get a look now at that Seymour Wildcat offense.
That offensive line possibly playing their last game together. Gross, Chapman, Elliott brothers, and Lopresti, an outstanding group of young men who have had a great season for the Seymour Wildcats.
I formation now. The Cats shift into that offset I. In motion, that is Gray, the tight end. And Tanner is back to throw on first down. Downfield throwing. It's a floater. It is incomplete. Almost picked off by Spadaro at the 35-yard line of Amity.
Seymour came with the home run play. The ball was tipped as it was thrown by Tanner and didn't get the distance necessary. And Amity almost came up with a turnover. Ball was tipped down the middle. And as it came, Lindskog bangs it away, and then 24 for Amity. Mike Spadaro almost came up with the turnover.
Glenn Fritz was the intended receiver. 2nd and 10 at the 34. Mastro straight ahead, and he gets about 9 yards on the play to the 43-yard line, does Joel Mastro. Brett Dedman on the tackle for Amity. And speaking about Amity, Matt Floyd also assisting on the tackle. Let's take a look at that Amity defense.
A lot of young people playing in that defense for Amity. Number of sophomores and juniors, and they're the future for the Amity football team.
3rd and about a foot for the Cats, just underway from here at Sim Field, and Tanner was popped at the line of scrimmage, and I believe his second effort's going to create the first down. Phillips hit him first, along with Darren Murray, and it is a Wildcat first down on that second effort by Tanner.
There's no way that Justin Tanner makes this unless he uses not only second but third effort. He's cranked right there. He falls off it. Phillips gets him again. He drags forward. First hit came number 69, Darren Murray, and then the outstanding senior quarterback, Justin Tanner, got the first down on his own.
Split backs for the Cats. Gray is in motion. And that is Mastro fighting his way for 3 yards off the right side. Captain Matt Floyd, one of the tacklers for Amity on the first down play, along with Bill Bolaño. Should mention also for Amity, in addition to the loss of Craig Johnson, that Captain Paul Wilson, who was hurt a few weeks ago against Lyman Hall, not playing in this football game.
2 outstanding football players that Amity misses sorely, and their seasons ended in kind of disappointing notes for them.
Second down play coming up, a loose ball, and Casiello picks the football up and manages to get across midfield to the 49 for a pickup of a pair, and Darren Murray on the stop for Amity.
Seymour's dodged 3 bullets early. The first play, it looked like a possible interception. The quarterback was stopped short and then pulls for a first down. Right here we get a double dribble, and then Casiello is able to pick it up and advance the ball for positive yardage.
3rd and 5 at the Amity 49, I formation. On the option, Tanner gets the first down as he goes to the near sidelines before he's hemmed in there by the Spartans. Tackle led by the defense led by Spadaro from his cornerback spot.
Watch Chapman, 67, again in front of the options. He pulls out. Tanner with the inside fake to hold the linebackers, and then just comes around the corner with Chapman leading enough for the first down. Spadaro on the tackle, but not before he crosses the 45 and gets down around the 42, 43-yard line. They're going to bring out the sticks for the measurement, but I don't think there's any question that he has the first down. Justin Tanner, an outstanding senior quarterback who took over the position in the spring and has just grown in that position all year.
And you see the indication.
Made it by a lot, too.
One of the officials, the first down for the Cats, the second one of the football game. Just underway from here at Sim Field, Cable 10 Sports high school football game of the week as we approach the end of the season, Buddy Chernovitz.
Has gone very quickly, hasn't it, Edward? We've got Thanksgiving and a playoff game ahead of us, but the season has certainly just flew by.
And we might make that plural for playoff game, too.
Possibility, certainly, with not only Seymour but Derby.
And let's not rule out Ansonia.
Ansonia, too.
Shelton is the definite. They are in a playoff game. That is Gray on the end around. And Gray crosses the 40-yard line down to about the 39 before he's stopped by Bolaño.
We've seen Gray come from his tight end position. This time he was in the wishbone and just came back on that counter ISO for good yardage. Big gain on first down, brings up a 2nd and short. Mike Gray carrying that football as we saw him do against Derby.
Gray, Mr. Versatility, as Buddy said, he runs out of the wishbone. They can flank him out the tight end, and he does it all defensively. Tanner unwinds, And incompleted pass intended for Mark Casiello at the 10-yard line of Amity. Double coverage, Spadaro along with Dieter Lindskog.
Tried to run the hook and go that time. Tanner with a good fake at the line, an eye fake to try and free Spadaro at the corner. Spadaro did a good job getting back and got help from Dieter Lindskog from his safety position. Never had a chance to complete that one as it brings up a 3rd and 5.
Ball is marked at the 39 of Amity. The Cats are in the I formation. Justin Tanner has done the job all year long at quarterback. First year playing that position after moving from the flanker spot from last year. That's Mastro straight ahead. And Coach Paul Sponheimer has an early decision in this football game. Darren Murray on the tackle.
Straight ahead play. Mastro just comes straight. Kick out right there by the guard, Elliott, and Mastro runs really into his own tackle or guard, Chapman 67, as he tried to drive the nose down. Seymour's going to go for it here. They're very confident in their offensive team's ability as they come unbalanced to this side.
Single setback. That is Glenn Fritz going in motion. Strength to the left side. Tanner throwing on 4th down, overthrows Mastro, and the Amity Spartans will take over on downs. Lindskog on the coverage.
That is a morale builder for Amity, stopping Seymour on this first drive. Pass was not a well-thrown ball as Tanner overthrows his receiver coming down, Casiello or Mastro right there, and never had a shot at it as Mastro tried to get up, never was able to get up. And I think Seymour feels very confident that their defense is going to be able to control Amity's offense regardless of field position. We'll see if that decision is a correct one as Amity starts for the first time.
And Amity opens up with the full house backfield that they opened up with against Derby. That is Bill DeMayo, the quarterback, on the option, coming to the near sidelines and hemmed out of bounds and thrown out by Todd Elliott, tri-captain for Seymour. Let's get a look now while we have a chance at that Amity Spartan offense.
Again, the DeMayo brothers, Billy and Steve the junior, or Steve the sophomore, Billy the junior, and Brett Dedman, a sophomore, are going to get a lot of play time here today.
The pitch out, that's Luciani, but the Cats are up to make the play, and Moroni Burchell leading the charge for Seymour. For a loss on the play.
Seymour's playing that 4-4. That's 8 people right on that line of scrimmage. Notice trying to get outside, 76 for Amity. The tackle, Bill Belarnio, trying to pull outside, and no place for Luciani to go.
Amity's going to make it tough for our replays. They're coming up quickly to the line of scrimmage without a huddle. One of the many things that Butch Marazzi is going to try to do. DeMayo is upended by Burchell, and cleaning up on the play,
that was
55 is Scott Elliott.
That's Greg Halcher, number 12, who came into the football game, and he is just tripped up there, Burchell, and Halcher down around the 20-yard line as he's knocked down to the ground. Amity lost 20 yards on that series. Not a good start.
Let's get a look now before the punt at the Seymour defensive unit.
Those linebackers, Pernetto, Mastro, Ellie, and Burchell, will have an interesting afternoon because they're going to be free most of the afternoon and going to the football.
Hollick standing inside his 10, gets the snap from center, and a strong rush led by Joel Mastro, and Hollick gets the punt off. Back deep was the quarterback, and lone setback there, Justin Tanner, goes out of bounds on the far side of the field, and the Cats will have the football for the second time in this football game. We're scoreless here at Sim Field. Let's take this timeout. Welcome back, everyone. The Seymour Wildcats have the football, second possession of the football game. We're scoreless here at Sim Field. Excellent field position. And that is Mastro roaming the secondary and getting the first down to the 35 before he's taken down by Brett Dedman. Joel Mastro had the great game against Naugatuck last week.
They're giving them a lot of room in the middle as everybody just turns out on the offensive line, and Mastro's clean into the secondary, and then his running ability takes over as he's dragged down from behind, but not before he gets to the 35-yard line. Excellent run by Joel Mastro.
Wildcats wide receivers either side of the field. And going in motion, Mike Gray. The option, Tanner, near sidelines with the football. Driven out of bounds by Spadaro, number 24.
Last year, if we can take the people back in that very cold game at DeBarber Field, when it came crunch time at the end of the football game, that option was the play that won the game for the Seymour Wildcats, and they've gone right to it early today. Again, Jason Chapman leading Tanner around the corner, and they're getting excellent yardage and doing an excellent job inside, just knocking people back off the ball.
Football at the 28 of Amity, a 2nd and 3 coming up for the Wildcats in the first quarter. We're scoreless. Gray in motion. Tanner looking out to the right side, gets it out there. That's Fritz. And it took a lot of the Spartans to drag him down there. Led by number 54, Jason Riccitelli, one of the tacklers out there for Amity. And it's a first down for the Wildcats.
Tanner just steps back and throws the hitch route outside. The wideout just turns out, makes an excellent catch. Casiello, and then just drives forward, or excuse me, Glenn Fritz drives forward for the first down for Seymour as they're down around the 22-yard line.
Let me also credit Steve DeMeo with the initial hit on that play. First down for the Cats deep in Amity territory. On a scissors play, a little bit of misdirection. That's Mastro going nowhere. Coming up to make the play, John Priano along with Nathan Youngberg.
Youngberg and Priano held their ground as you see tight end coming in motion, and then the attempt to go back away with Mastro. 77 Youngberg and 67 Priano right there. Were not fooled by the scissors.
Second down, 2nd and 13 for Seymour. Mastro in a slot now to the right side, and Fritz goes in motion. Tanner on 2nd down, throws it out in the direction of Gray, incomplete. A little bit of a misconnection there. It'll bring up a 3rd down for the Wildcats. Earlier, Buddy Chernovitz had a chance to talk with Paul Sponheimer, and he asked the coach about this football game, and he mentioned that this was a very big football game against Amity. Here's what Coach Sponheimer had to say.
I hope so, buddy. First thing we need to get into the playoffs has to happen right here at Amity today, and then we'll take our chances down the road. A lot of things could happen, but we can always look back, and I don't want to cast stones at anything, but we can always look back, and we've got to look at our own house first, and we could have taken care of our own destiny a long time ago. But I think the kids will be ready. We've got a great senior group, and I don't think they're going to come out flat or anything in their last football game. I hope it's not. I firmly believe in scouting Stratford last week and having seen the other teams that are in contention for the playoffs. I firmly believe we're the best football team that would have a shot at Stratford. I know our kids surely wouldn't be intimidated. As freshmen, our seniors played Stratford to a 41-36 football game, and I don't think they would be intimidated by the fact that they've been number 1 for half the season. But that's not the question today. We got to come out and play the Amity Spartans. Butchie's doing a great job. The kids, I'm sure are going to be ready for it. It's their senior's last day, and anything, emotion means a lot in this game of football. And Butchie does a great job scouting. I know he's been scouting us virtually every game. So when it gets to week 10, everybody knows each other as well as each other. I just think, Butchie's bringing the program along. I think key injuries, I just noticed poor Craig Johnson got hurt during practice this week. I'm sure that would have helped out an awful lot this year, just having that experience there. And as soon as the kids at Amity realize that football can't be just from August to November, Butchie's going to turn it around because he's a fine man and he knows what has to be done. And I just think that everybody needs to get behind him and let the kids know that football is not a part-time sport anymore.
Coach, thanks for stopping by. We know that everybody's rooting for you to get in there because I agree with you. I think you guys got the best shot to beat Stratford, and I think you could be the best football team in this state. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back, everyone. 3rd down coming up for the Seymour Wildcats. Fritz in motion. Tanner back to throw. Near sidelines has a receiver out there all alone. That's Glenn Fritz at the 10. He waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown Seymour at the 4:44 mark of the first quarter.
Excellent throw from Tanner as Fritz just got outside contained to the sidelines. There was no respect for him as the cornerback came inside with the post route and allowed Fritz to just come in motion and then to go right down the sidelines for the touchdown. Excellent throw by Justin Tanner. Glenn Fritz on the reception, 22-yard touchdown, and Seymour jumps out ahead 6-0 here with 4:43 left to go in this first quarter.
Kip Anderson, the freshman, is the extra point kicker for the Wildcats. And Anderson gets it over the crossbar. And as the teams come upfield, it is Seymour 7 and Amity nothing. Buddy Tournament's also caught up with second-year head football coach Len Butch Marazzi of Amity, and he asked the coach about the success thus far of the Amity football program. Here's what Coach Marazzi had to say.
Well, buddy, we were extremely lucky last year. We had an exceptional group, and we hit some big plays and certainly contributed to our wins. This year, we haven't been as fortunate. We've made a large number of mistakes, and we've had a large number of injuries. But I think the positive sense is that the program's a year-round program now with off-season conditioning. I think our young people have come a long way. Our freshman team has had an exceptional year, and our JV team has also had an exceptional year. And due to these injuries, we've played a large number of our young people, including today. I think we'll have 3 seniors on offense and 3 on defense, so I think in the future we're going to be a very good football team.
In general, are you satisfied with the progress you've made so far?
Yes, I am. I really am. I know to most people they judge a season on wins and losses, and there's nothing you can do about that. I mean, that always happens. But if you look much deeper, I think you'll see a total commitment, not only from the administration, but from the kids and the families and our parents and all. They've been great in their support of me and the staff, and I think in the future you're going to see good things from Amity football.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, Buddy, second possession of the Seymour Wildcats. They took over at their 49-yard line after an Amity punt, and methodically they moved it downfield, and the touchdown pass from Tanner to Fritz.
I think that's going to be the story of the day for the Wildcats. Amity really undermanned on defense, especially up front in that offensive line of Seymour's being able to pretty much dominate the line of scrimmage, but when they can throw the football like that, it could be a very long morning for the Spartans. They've got to put some pressure on Tanner, is allowing him to sit back there and have that kind of time. He's going to find someone, because Seymour releases 3, 4, and sometimes 5 men into the secondary in their pass patterns.
Kip Anderson kicking it off at short, end over end, coming into the direction of Luciani. Now to Spadaro. Spadaro with the football banged down as he gets outside his 20-yard line on the far side of the field.
Penalty marker came in on that, probably against Seymour. Looked as if it's going to be a personal foul. A little bit of manhandling of Spadaro as he was thrown to the ground. And the Spartans are going to catch a break here and be up around the 35-yard line to start with their second possession of the day.
Personal foul, 15 yards.
So there is the mark-off as you see Dick Hildebrand in your picture. One of the most respected officials in the state of Connecticut.
He has an outstanding crew working with him today also, and the officials certainly this year have, I think, been the best that I have seen them in a long time. They have worked very hard, and they do provide an outstanding service to the game of football.
Full house backfield. That's Phillips, the fullback, straight ahead to the 39-yard line. Tied up there by the center of that Seymour defense, Joel Mastro, from his linebacker spot.
Amity came out and tried to show Seymour a few different looks in their first 3 plays. They lost 20 yards. I think Coach Marazzi's going to go basic now and just try and see what he can do and crank straight ahead with a couple plays and see if his offensive line can get into that Seymour defense and maybe get a first down.
Oh, flanked out to the near side to see John Lucarelli, a senior. On the option, DeMeo running the football, pitches at the last moment. That is Luciani. Justin Tanner finally rides him out there.
That Seymour contained Maroney Burchell and Todd Elliott. Elliott just took off. DeMeo's got pretty good speed. Elliott tracked him down. You see 53 right there coming through a 55. Now look at that speed as he grabs a hold of DeMeo, and DeMeo gets it off to Luciani. But outstanding contain from that outside, Justin Tanner getting up and closing that corner off, bringing up another big third down for the Spartans.
And a moment ago, you saw the injured quarterback of the Spartans operated on yesterday for his second knee operation of the year. That's Craig Johnson, senior quarterback, had a rough senior year. Pass intended for the tight end Hollick, incomplete. Fritz on the coverage. That'll bring up a 4th down.
Tried to hit a quick slant pass. DeMeo up, throws it. The ball was tipped at the line right there, and unable for Hollick to grab the football as he came across on a quick slant trying to pick up that first down yardage. That's one thing the Spartans have had difficulty doing all year with the loss of Johnson, has been able to throw the football down the field, and that's going to be a key today to their ability to stay close. Is they've got to get some first downs and going to have to throw the ball at least a little bit.
4th down, a kicking situation from the 39, and Long snap to Hollick. He just gets it off. Mastro again in and almost blocked the second punt.
That's the second time they were close, and unless Amity closes down a little, they're going to get one today because they were right on that kick.
Well, Seymour will take over now at their 38-yard line. Late stages of the first quarter, Seymour leads at 7-0 as you take a look at
Rick McGowan, the offensive coordinator, talking to Todd Hollick. I don't think that's Todd's fault. He get the ball off pretty good, but I think coach is talking to him about the inside rush and trying to straighten out the blocking assignment so that they don't come free as they've done the first two punts.
Offset I formation, that is Gray going in motion. And Tanner unwinds on first down and overthrows Fritz at the 40-yard line. Steve DeMeo along with Linskog on the coverage for Amity.
Watch the inside protection. Now Tanner does not get any pressure. Look at, he's got a free route down the center. The ball is wobbly. He doesn't get off a good throw. But again, Justin Tanner with all the time in the world and lanes to throw in where he has total visibility of his receiver. And he is going to pick him apart if that continues.
Second down coming up, the line of scrimmage at 37 of Seymour. That is Gray in motion. And the give to Mastro. Mastro for the first down at midfield before he's wrestled down by Youngberg. Joel Mastro has had an injury-plagued senior year, but he has done the job all year long for the Cats. There he goes.
Come with a little counter again. Chapman kicking out at the hole as they trap. DeMeo with a piece of him before Youngberg gets him down, but again, another big first down as Seymour is just rolling down the field.
The Cats have an offensive machine in 1988. Offset I formation, first down at the 49 of Amity. Gray in motion. Give to the tailback. Casiello slides off to the outside and gets down to the 44 before he's taken down there by number 31, Stanley Phillips.
Again, Phillips will get him from the backside, but watch as Casiello breaks free here. He looks or feels that he's got a long way to go here, and then he gets caught from the backside as he busts outside, and then boom, as he tries to get downfield, he's caught from behind by Stanley Phillips. But again, another big 5-yard gain by the Wildcats as they're just cranking out that yardage.
Ball at the Amity 44. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Offset I formation, Gray in motion on second down. Casiello straight up the gut. Looks like he has the first down. Tripped up by number 76, Bolaño.
Fullback kicks out. Up the middle comes Casiello. He's tripped up by Bolaño, but not before he gets that first down. And Seymour 2 downs for the first as they are cranking off the ground attack and cranking off big gains, first and second down.
Buddy, did you get a look at that hole up the middle? I mean, they really move him out there. First down, Casiello incomplete. Spadaro on the coverage for Amity.
The ball was well thrown. Receiver just took his eyes off it. Mark Casiello unable to hold on to it, but a good throw by Justin Tanner. Seymour really is able to do anything they want so far. They're getting now second and long and probably be able to run for 5 to 7 yards as they've done so far because of that inside where they're cranking off that yardage on those trap blocks and solid. Oh my goodness.
Mastro before he's taken down by Priano, number 67. But Mastro picks up about 8 on that play.
I don't know why Seymour is wasting time trying to throw the ball. They're just cranking off the ground attack. Watch inside. Now the hole here, they just seal and allow that lane for Mastro to come downfield. Priano finally gets him, and Mastro drags him forward for another 5 yards.
Well, they come in at Seymour does with one of the best offensive lines in the state. Some people might argue they are the best. Third and short. On the option, Tanner near side. Pushed out of bounds by Spadaro on the near sidelines. I believe he picked up the first down. Let's await the spot.
Again, the option with Chapman coming to the corner, the near side. Now watch as they wall people off. Watch the white shirts now. They get into people, they make a good block, and they're getting their quarterback Tanner down the field for 5, 7, 10 yards every time they turn the corner in the option. And so far, they've only run it to the near side.
Line of scrimmage to 22 of Amity, and it is another Wildcat first down. Casiello slides, slips, and gets down close to the 15-yard line before he stopped by 54, Jason Riccitelli.
Chapman on the trap. They take Floyd and seal him off and then just come right up the middle. Again, Casiello for another 7 as they're down around the 15. 20 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Seymour up 7-0.
Second down play coming up for Seymour. The ball at the 15 of Amity. Mastro straight ahead, slides off as he gets to the 10, inside the 10 to about the 7. Stopped by Spadaro and Lindskog in the secondary. And it's another Wildcat first down.
Again, the line surge just driving Amity back off the ball, and then the Spartans are not doing a great job tackling also as he's down at the 5.
And we've seen the last play of this first quarter. The score, Seymour 7, Amity nothing. Welcome back, everyone. Wildcats have, to start the second quarter of play, a first and goal, the line of scrimmage, the 6-yard line of Amity. Seymour leads at 7-0. They have moved the ball at will here thus far at Simfield and Woodbridge. Buddy and I mentioned Amity playing a lot of juniors and sophomores, and the Cats are truly one of the best teams in the state. Sliding off the right side is Joel Mastro. Tackled by Murray along with Youngberg. Line of scrimmage now the 4-yard line. Let's make that the 3-yard line as you get a look at the Amity defense digging in. Second and goal, just at the beginning of the second quarter of play. Seymour leads at 7-0, looking to add to that score. Mastro leaps into the end zone. Seymour touchdown. Joel Mastro, 5'9", 185-pound senior captain.
Mastro goes over the top. Tanner on the straight dive handoff, and watch Mastro just get airborne right here as he just wants the 6, and he gets in for the touchdown. 13-0. The Seymour Wildcats with 11:21 left to go here in this second quarter, and Seymour's going to give you a look on that extra point.
Always exciting. The Wildcats on the extra points. They have more variations off the extra point than any high school team that I know of. Well, they try it the simple way. Kip Anderson drills it for the 14th point as you get a look at
I
Paul
think a very
Sponheimer.
relieved Paul Sponheimer also. You come into a traditional game, you don't know what to expect. The 2-7 football team, they're going to sell out, and you want to get on top because you don't want to let them stay around, because the longer a team stays around in this type of situation, the tougher it can get. And I know he's got to be relieved to be up 14-0 right now. Coach Marazzi over there on the other side, certainly concerned about his defense, their inability to stop Seymour, especially on the run. He's going to have to make some adjustments. Dieter Lindskog there playing safety. They've got to make some adjustments inside to slow that ground attack down and possibly force Seymour to go to the air. Tanner has not been as accurate as we've seen him all year. It's certainly early, but the ground attack certainly has taken its toll on the Amity defense in this first period of football.
14-0 Seymour. Anderson will be kicking off for the Wildcats. Back deep, Spadaro and Luciani. Coming down in the direction of Luciani.
Nice move.
Near sidelines, Kenny Luciani before he's taken down by
That was a
number
great
62,
move.
Klimovich.
He left 4 of the Wildcats on the turf as he started to go backwards, which all coaches frown upon. Right here, he loses the handle. Now coaches frown at this, but look at, he leaves 4 guys. They overrun him and then gets back up the field on a very excellent run before he's contained at about the 29-yard line. Kenny Luciani, a senior, excellent football player all year for the Spartans.
Line of scrimmage to 29, the full house backfield. That's Luciani trying to get outside, but unable to as that defense has come up to make the play. 34, Glenn Fritz coming up from the corner.
Well-conceived play, but unfortunately no one blocked Glenn Fritz. The outside receiver was just thrown down by Fritz, and he was just waiting as Luciani came back on the scissors. Picked up about 3 or 4 inches, and right now that is about all the Spartans are able to do is short yardage plays.
Billy DeMeo has been the quarterback. for the Amity Spartans. Once again, Craig Johnson, during practice this week, injured his other knee, underwent arthroscopic knee surgery, out of this football game. There's a pop inside, the give straight ahead. 31, Stanley Phillips is the ball carrier, but he got nowhere against that middle of that Seymour defense. And that's been perhaps an underrated part of the Seymour story this year, buddy, that defense, especially that front four.
Not if you've played against them. I think if you've played against them, you know how.
Connick, Chapman, and of course Scott Elliott and Gross, that front four has done the job all year long for the Wildcats.
An outstanding front four and excellent linebackers backing them up, but the front four make those linebackers even better because it allows them the ability to roam and to make tackles. It's very difficult to block Gross, Connick, Chapman, and Elliott, and you're double teaming them most of the time, and it frees up your linebackers and allows them to make a lot of tackles.
Amity has called a timeout, and when we resume play, the Spartans will have a 3rd and 11.
The Amity
Check that
cheerleaders,
should say, buddy, 3rd and 9. The line of scrimmage is the 30. Go ahead, buddy.
Amity cheerleaders are an outstanding group of young ladies. They've won a number of national awards and compete every year in the national cheerleading competition.
Buddy, we should bring in this point right now. We talked about Amity playing the younger kids. They've had successful JV and freshman programs. The JVs have gone 6-2 this year, and the freshman team 8-1. And I know personally that the freshman team for Amity had a severe handicap.
They did. Their coach. I tell my son all the time that that's the biggest handicap of the club. They overcame that handicap and had a great year along with the JV program, and that is the future of the Amity football program. They've got to be able to build off of that freshman program and JV group, and they've got to get into the weight room, as Coach Sponheimer touched on, and there is my son who had a great year at quarterback, along with Kurt Peterkin, a halfback, and some of the other freshmen who did a great job and finished 8-1 in the season.
Spartans split out Hollick to the far side of the field, and the 3rd down play, an incompleted pass. DeMeo was swarmed under by that front four that we just mentioned for the Cats, and also Glenn Fritz again making the defensive play. Let's also give credit to Scott Elliott.
As he gets his hand up and tries to release the ball, he gets cranked right there by number 34 on a blitz, the outside linebacker, Glenn Fritz. And Amity, no place to go, nowhere to throw it, and they're facing again a 4th down. We'll see if they can have made an adjustment on an inside rush of Seymour, because the Wildcats are going to get a piece of that football before the morning is over unless they close down those splits or start picking up people on that inside rush.
Hollick inside his 20 to kick the football away, gets the excellent long snap, and he gets a fine punt off. Fritz on the other end. Midfield, steps out of bound at midfield. Number 66, Gil Jennings, seeing to it that Fritz stayed out of bounds. Flag down on the play at the 42-yard line, and that might go against the Cats. Seymour leads it and have had their way here at Sim Field in Woodbridge in the season finale for both teams. They lead at 14-0.
Watch at the top of your screen, 55 Elliott. He's going to drill Barnes right here. And then Fritz gets outside, down the sideline, stepped out of bounds right there, but the play is going to be brought back on a clipping penalty against the Wildcats, as it will force them to go from their own 27-yard line, beginning their 4th possession. They've converted 2 already into points with excellent drives. You see DeMeo there and the other young Spartans. The Spartans are getting a lesson today in playing this football team, and I know Coach Marazzi would like this lesson to be remembered next year, and they will be able to see what a solid football team is able to do and maybe learn what is necessary in order to be a winner.
Wishbone formation for the Cats on the 1st down, and that's Mastro taking it straight ahead from the fullback spot. In the wishbone, the Cats bring Gray back as one of the halfbacks along with Dave Casiello. Darren Murray on the stop.
Straight ahead as both halfbacks just flare out and giving Mastro the ball for, again, about 7 yards on a straight ahead handoff, and that's something that can't happen. The Spartans have got to take that straight dive away. 7 yards every time they're touching the ball. It's going to be a very, very long day.
Second down play, wishbone again for the Cats. Gray out of the right halfback spot, slides to the 40, and an apparent Seymour first down, stopped there by Riccitelli.
Again, Gray just comes off tackle, good blocking, picks up the first down as he gets to the 40-yard line, and again, we can't overstate the obvious. The offensive line is just blowing the black jerseys back off the football.
First down for the Wildcats at the 40. They lead it 14-0 in the second quarter of play. Gray switches back to the halfback spot. Square out pass, that's Fritz. Trying to find some running room. Glenn Fritz breaks it. Near sidelines 40, 35, but he steps out of bounds at the 40-yard line of Amity. Glenn Fritz on that short flare out from Tanner, bumped out by Dieter Lindskog.
That was a very well conceived football play as Gray comes in motion. Watch Gray come in motion. He will kick the corner right out here, 87, allowing Fritz to be sprung down the sidelines. DeMeo was kicked out, then one of the guards right there with another great block, and Fritz down the sidelines. Right here could have been a little extra here, but the referee chose not to blow or throw the flag. Could have blown or thrown the flag on that play as Fritz was out of bounds 10 yards before he was hit.
Line of scrimmage is the 39 of Amity. First down for the Cats. Tanner puts it up on first down. It is knocked down by number 55 for Amity.
Melchior.
John Melchior now in at the linebacker for the Spartans, and he's a senior, one of the many seniors graduating from the Amity Spartan football program this year. And we don't know if this is the final game for the Cats and their seniors. Stay tuned for that. Of course, the Cats are in the hunt for a Class SS CIAC state tournament berth. And their prize in that game, if you can call it a prize, would be the #1 ranked Stratford team. A fumble on the play, covering it up for Amity, Nathan Youngberg. First things first for Seymour, they've got to take care of Amity.
Handoff just comes out as the guard comes around. Jason Chapman actually knocked the ball out of Tanner's hands. Coaching fundamental, as coaches will say, quarterbacks got to bring the ball into your stomach. That prevents the lineman from coming by and knocking it out. Tanner hung the ball out, and Chapman coming on the pull, kicked the ball out of his hands. Youngberg with the recovery. Spartans with their best field position of the day.
On the 41, that's Luciani with the football. Tries to fight his way for a pair of yards on the play. It's tough going against the left side of that Seymour defense. Once again in on that play, Fritz, who's played an outstanding game early on for Seymour.
Seymour's allowing their outside people pretty much to come free, and they are getting a 7, 8, sometimes 9-man rush in there on that line of scrimmage and closing off all of the opportunities for Amity really to make positive yardage on the ground.
2nd and 8 for Amity. That is Dedman with the football. He's upended in the backfield. Moroni Burchell.
That time they came with 9, and there's no way that the Spartans can block the 9 people. Watch everybody come here. Burchell from the outside, he comes unblocked as the movement of that Seymour defensive front is causing some confusion in the blocking assignments for the Spartans, and they're allowing people to come through without being touched.
Paul Connick cleaned up for the Wildcats, and you don't want to have Paul Connick cleaning up on any play if you're the opposing team. Reminder to our viewers that at the conclusion of the football game, we'll be making a presentation of the Fitzpatrick's Player of the Game Award. 3rd and long for the Spartans at their 41. There was a little bit of motion for Amity as Phillips took the handoff. Left tackle maybe for Amity Bolaño. Let's await the officials' call. That'll go against Amity.
5-yard penalty against Amity for illegal procedure. Backing up, making it 3rd down.
See the guy at the end of the line here, 76 with the movement, and that will cost them the 5 yards. Amity has not even threatened here in this first half, threatened to get a first down. They have been totally stopped on offense by Seymour. They're 3rd and 15 here, and definite passing situation, we'll see. Screen, I hope.
DeMeo It is almost picked off by Scott Elliott. The intended receiver was Luciani.
Elliott played that one perfectly. He was in a better position to make the reception. Watch Luciani at the top of your picture try and sell the screen. The outside, 55, Elliott right there. He just one-hands it to the ground. He could have taken that one in stride into the end zone. Brings up another 4th down, and again a punting situation. Todd Hollick getting a workout here, punting for the 4th time today.
Back to receive the punt for Seymour, Justin Tanner. Another rush. Hollick gets it off. A high punt. Fair catch called for by Tanner at the 30-yard line. Midpoint of the second quarter. Our score is Seymour 14, Amity nothing. Let's take this timeout. Welcome back, everyone. Seymour Wildcats take over after the Amity punt at their 31-yard line. I formation. Mastro is the fullback and Casiello the tailback. And Casiello gets the handoff from Tanner off the right side for a pair. Number 66, Gil Jennings on the initial hit, along with Youngbird on the stop for Amity. Buddy, they have spread it around all year long for Seymour's Wildcats in the backfield. Mastro, they've all had their place in the sun this year. Mastro, Casiello, Gray, Tanner, Glenn Fritz. Second down, Mastro goes to a slot, and Fritz in motion. And that's Casiello with the football. Slips and falls. Closest defender, Steve DeMeo.
I hope we can get this on replay as you watch. Watch 56, Brian Grass, come around the corner. You see him right at the bottom here. Watch him come around the corner and take this guy on. Watch the block. Bang, kicks him to the inside, drives him off, keeps going, and the runner just actually fell as Grass continues around the corner. Strength difference. There's upper body strength and the difference between the Seymour and Amity football team. Very obvious right there in that play.
Gray in motion. Tanner on the option. As the first down on the far side of the field to the 44. Darren Murray on the tackle for Amity.
Seymour again going with that option to the far side. There's a flag down on the play, but again, Jason Chapman, guard pulling out as he comes around. There he is, 67. Look at him holding Melchior inside, just turning Melchior inside. He's not even a part of the play as he's part of the outside contain, and Seymour just holding him in and coming around the corner and picking up some more yardage on a personal foul against the Spartans.
So we tack on 15 more yards at the end of the run, and the Wildcats find themselves with the football down at the 42 of Amity. They lead at 14-0. Second quarter action from here at Sim Field in Woodbridge. The season finale for these Housatonic League rivals, but we're awaiting. Is this the final game for the Cats? We don't know at this point. Casiello trying to swing wide, and he loses his footing in the backfield. We were down on that field before the game, buddy. There are a few muddy spots.
There are certainly a few muddy spots as coming back on that counter, trying to get the outside. You'll see Casiello lose his footing right here as he tries to turn back, following Grass again. Grass just taking that outside guy, kicking him out. Unfortunately for Seymour, the halfback unable to follow him because of the footing.
Loss of one on the play. The Cats in that offset I formation. Gray in motion. Fake inside. That's David Casiello trying to get outside of contain. A great defensive effort by Spadaro and Darren Murray for Amity.
Good job. That time they forced the pitch for the first time and did a good job on the corner containing as Amity has a football player who is down. Good job on the corner that time with contain both Darren Murray and the outside corner Mike Spadaro.
Gives us an opportunity now to mention to everyone that today's coverage of the high school football game of the week is a presentation of Cable 10 Sports Valley Cablevision Incorporated. It's intended solely for the viewing enjoyment of Valley Cablevision subscribers. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of Valley Cablevision is prohibited. Injured player, as Buddy mentioned, for Amity down on the field. There you see Butch Marazzi out on the field. It's been a disappointing year for Coach Marazzi, but Coach Marazzi's a hard worker. He's at the beginnings of this of this Amity program and the rebuilding job. Last year, I know he came out of the year with a 4-5 record, and he had hoped for more this year, but Butch is an optimistic person. We talked about the JV programs and the success of the freshman programs and the fact that they're playing a lot of underclassmen.
I think that measuring success with wins and losses early in a program is not fair. The Amity Spartans have 44 football players who started spring practice and 44 football players who finished. As you see Stanley Phillips being helped off the field, he's had a bad ankle. The fact that they finished with 44 and the fact that they are still playing aggressive football is a plus to the program and also a plus to the coaching staff, that these kids have hung in all year in what has been, in the loss department or wins and loss department, a tough year.
Stan Phillips, one of the bright spots for Amity and a senior for that program. Joel Mastro fighting his way. And a flag is dropped on the play, and let's await the call. Inside the 30-yard line, let's get that on replay.
It's going to go against Amity again. Another 15-yard personal foul, and frustrations are starting to become apparent here. You'll see the dive inside. It's just straight ahead. Casiello is not going to be touched until he makes about 7 yards. There's a first grab on him, and he pulls himself free from Melchior. And then down the field, and right here you're going to see some extracurricular activity into the pile right there, and that will cost the 15 yards, as it was Mastro, who carried the football ahead for about 10 yards and then tacked on with the extra 15 and brings it down around the 11-yard line.
So the Cats are in business again as Mastro goes to a slot to the left side. Seymour leads at 14-0. Fritz in motion on first down. Tanner flaring it out near sidelines, has a receiver, touchdown Seymour to Glenn Fritz on the right corner of the end zone. So the Cats have put their third score on the board.
Tanner just drops back. Watch Fritz right there as he comes out of your picture. He will circle to the corner of the end zone, the same play they ran for the first touchdown. He's wide open, catches the football with two Amity Spartans really playing Fritz and not the football. 6 points. Seymour goes up 20-0 with 2:30 left to go here in this first half of football. It's an understatement to say it's been all Seymour in this half, but it certainly has, both offensively and defensively.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. Kip Anderson, the freshman, adds the 21st point. I believe I saw, buddy, that Justin Tanner held on that extra point. Joel Mastro normally is held for the Cats. Tanner does everything for Seymour. Absolutely everything.
It is a tribute to a football player and to the athletic ability of Justin Tanner to adjust to the quarterback position from spring practice and to lead his football team down the football field all year. People talked about last year's quarterback, Joey Stockmall, and how they would replace him. They certainly have replaced him with an outstanding player in Justin Tanner. And the fact that Stockmall was so good probably kept Tanner from playing quarterback earlier at Seymour. They used him as a receiver, and this year when they needed an athlete to step in at the position, Tanner assumed the role and has just done a tremendous job. He is a good, strong candidate for All-State at that position. There are not many other quarterbacks in the state of Connecticut who have had the outstanding season that Justin Tanner has, and especially the fact that he started only in the spring as a quarterback.
Line drive kickoff. Spadaro. Far sidelines. Mike Spadaro finally driven out of bounds in the vicinity of midfield. Mike Spadaro, senior for the Amity Spartans, playing his final game here at Sim Field.
Watch Spadaro now as he picks the ball up off his shoe tops and then gets down the sideline. He breaks a tackle right there at the 30. And then the last Seymour player will knock him out of bounds right about midfield right there, as Spadaro with an excellent run on that kickoff return.
Now quarterback Amity, number 12, Greg Holcher.
Greg Holcher now in at quarterback, 6'3", 205-pound junior.
Holcher back to throw.
Pass incomplete, short of the mark at the 45, intended for Dieter Lindskog. Ed Dahl now in at linebacker along with Glenn Fritz on the coverage for Seymour.
Hulcher will just step back and throw the slant, and Hulcher's a big kid. He is a junior but has had very little time at quarterback because of injuries. He was injured early in this season, did not get back until the Derby game, and came back as a receiver because of Craig Johnson. Last year he was injured in the summer drills and never really took a snap at quarterback. He has potential, but he has not played the position.
Lucarelli to the bottom of your screen is the wide receiver. Hulcher rolling on second down, near sidelines, being hounded out there and dropped by Gross.
Ryan Gross with pretty good foot speed as he closes Hulcher off, prevents him from turning the corner, and Amity again just trying to get something going positive. Look at how Gross just plays right off of Dedman, and Dedman just turns and waves as Gross continues and brings Hulcher down. They had him doubled. Gross just banged him backwards and made the play on the corner. Again, upper body strength, and that Seymour body strength is very apparent here against that Amity group of young men.
3rd and long at the 41 of Amity. I formation for the Spartans. A rush on Hulcher, and he had to unload it before he wanted to. The intended receiver was Luciani Mastro on the coverage for the Cats.
Tried to set up a screen, and Amity did not block at all at the line of scrimmage. When quarterback Hulcher turned to throw the football, he was being pressured inside by Connick, and Chapman did not throw a good pass to Luciani. Brings up another 4th down, and Todd Hollick in again to punt. He's had a great day so far kicking the football for the Spartans under some pretty good pressure.
So a kicking situation again for Amity, just unable to get untracked here today, and another fine punt by Hollick. Tanner for the fair catch at the 35-yard line, where Seymour will take over again offensively. Seymour, on their first possession of the football game here today at Sim Field, did not score, but from that point on, have had things their way. They lead it 21-0 late stages of the first half. Ball resting at the 35-yard line.
1st and 10 from the Seymour 35.
Split backs for the Cats. Handoff inside.
79, Mark Barnes, the tackle for Amity.
Dave Casiello, the ball carrier for Seymour, and Mark Barnes on the stop for Amity Spartans.
Casiello, the ball carrier.
Line of scrimmage to 35, under a minute to go here at Sim Field. The scoreboard clock always official in Housatonic League games. Seymour leads it 21-0. Split backs again. Hurry up offense for the Cats. Tanner fakes inside, and on the option, far side of the field, crosses his 40-yard line to about the 42.
79, Mark Barnes again in on the tackle.
Barnes again on the stop. Senior Mark Barnes for the Amity Spartans, number 79. Bringing up now a 3rd down coming up for the Cats.
Seymour is not trying to run a 2-minute offense and just going to be happy getting into the locker room at this point. 21-0. They're not trying to run the score right at this point. They certainly have dominated the game. Amity's offense has been limited to minus 18 yards in the first half, and Seymour on offense has just really done what they wanted to do, or anything they've wanted to do in this first half of football.
Joel Mastro taking a straight handoff and finally stopped by Youngberg.
Again, they just kicking down 70 right there for Seymour. Sean LaPresti just turning the tackle in and allowing Mastro to run free or right up in the off tackle hole, and he's been doing that pretty much all morning.
Ball lined up, the ball spotted rather at the 48-yard line. 1st down for Seymour, and again, the Cats just content to keep it on the ground. That's David Casiello getting down inside the 45-yard line of Amity, and that should be the final play of the first half, and it is. The teams go off field, and our halftime score at Sim Field in Woodbridge, Seymour 21, Amity nothing. Back with the halftime activities right after these messages.
Go to the end of halftime.
of field, you see the Amity Regional High School pom-pom girls along with the color guard. Our halftime score, Seymour 21, Amity Regional nothing.
morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Amity High School Marching Band Halftime Show. Today, the band is under the impeccable leadership of Andy Schwartz as they perform their first number, the well-known Olympic Fanfare. This song is highlighted by the trumpet soloists Jeff Ludson and Peter Hunt. the rain, cold, and dark of the night to perform in the Amity halftime shows. They are Andy Schwartz, drum major, Julie Komorski, band president, Judy Ferraro, Jacob Kroll, Lisa Natkin, Jeff Lexman, Jane O, Nancy Goldberg, Dave Hall, and Sarah Kynan. The final song in today's show is the foot-stomping favorite, Warpath.
We've just been entertained here at halftime at Sim Field in Woodbridge by the Amity Spartans Pom-Pom Girls, the color guard, and marching off the field, the Amity Regional High School Marching Band. Our halftime score is Seymour 21, Amity nothing. Back with the second half kickoff right after these messages. Welcome back, everyone. Set in a couple of moments for the second half kickoff here at Sim Field on an overcast day, middle of November. Final regular season game for both these football teams in the Housatonic League. And depending upon what happens with a few other high schools football teams in the state, it may not be the final game for the Seymour Wildcats if any part of this score is maintained by the Wildcats. They lead at 21-0, and Buddy with a look at the first half stats.
First half totally dominated by the Seymour Wildcats, both running and passing. Amity minus 19 yards. Total offense is certainly a tribute to that Seymour defensive group of young men. They have dominated the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively. And the Spartans, as we said, would have difficulty moving the football. I don't think even they thought that they would have this much difficulty. 16 first downs to 0. Total domination by Seymour. Fritz with 2 touchdowns, a 22-yard pass and an 11-yard pass from Tanner, and Joel Master with a 2-yard run, giving Seymour a 21-0 lead at the end of this first quarter, as Seymour will kick to Amity to begin the second half of football on Valley Cablevision's High School Football Game of the Week.
All right, Buddy. Anderson, the kicker, back deep, Spadaro and Luciani. Luciani, one of the captains for 1988 for Amity with the football. Center of the field. Kenny is bumped down at the 35-yard line by Ed Dahl, number 31, and number 48 for the Seymour Wildcats.
A player of the future, Mr. Brooks, a freshman who yesterday had the opportunity to watch close up, and he is everything that everyone talks about, an outstanding halfback, played linebacker on defense, and he's certainly going to be a player next year and in the next 2 years for that Seymour football team.
Amity opens up the second half with split backs. Hulcher starts at quarterback, and his first pass is almost picked off. That was intended for Kennedy, number 29, and Mike Gray, the closest player to the football. Incompleted pass, and we'll go to a 2nd and 10 for Amity at their 35. Opening moments of the second half as you get a look at that Seymour Wildcat defensive huddle. Seymour leads at 21-0, 7 points in the first quarter. They tacked on 2 scores in the second quarter, and the stats pretty much told the story of the first half. Hulcher gives off to the tailback. That's Kenny Luciani, upended after a pickup of a couple on the play. Number 15, Chris Pranetta on the tackle for the Wildcats. 5'9", 165-pound junior outside linebacker. Line of scrimmage, the 39-yard line. 3rd and 7. The center is the senior Craig Neal. Craig Neal, 6'2", 155-pound senior. Pass over the middle, it's complete from Hulcher to the tight end, Todd Halleck, down into Seymour territory at the 45 before he stopped there by Tanner and Mike Gray.
Hulcher just coming over the top as he sits back in the pocket, pretty good time, able to throw the football over the line of scrimmage and gets Halleck down the center for a big initial first down for the Amity Spartans here with 10:30 left to go in this third quarter. They have gotten their first down, first pass completion. Todd Halleck with the catch.
And the I formation. Dedman is the fullback. Behind him, the I back. That is Luciani. Hulcher wants to throw on first down under a rush. Tries to flare it out to Luciani under pressure by Connick. And it goes as an incompleted forward pass.
Someone forgot to block Connick and Chapman as they beat Hulcher back to the setup point where he wanted to throw from. Hulcher did a good job just getting rid of the football. Lucky for Greg, there was someone in a black jersey close to where he threw it because he really just dumped it to avoid the sack.
Second down coming up, 2nd and 10 at the ball at the 45 of Seymour. Amity has it. Their opening possession of the second half. They're down 21-0. Dedman, the fullback, fake inside to Dedman, and a pass over the middle, intercepted. Joel Mastro, and the Wildcats on the turnover have the football.
Hulcher just throws this right to Mastro. He gets good pressure inside. Maroni Bichelle right there, and he just throws it to the wrong guy. And Seymour with another turnover as the Spartans unable to convert that first down into more than just that initial first down of the football game for them.
Tanner on the option. That's Casiello. With blocking in front of him, Scott Elliott in front of him. Casiello gets to midfield before he's stopped by Lindskog, number 43, 6 foot, 175-pound senior safety.
Came with the option again. They've run that all day. This time Scott Elliott out in front of Casiello. Big 7 yards on that initial first down.
Bottom of your picture, that's Glenn Fritz. Top part of your picture is Mark Casiello. Tanner on the option. Casiello. This time hemmed in. Priano, first man to meet him for Amity on the near sidelines. Looks to be shy of the yardage needed for the first down.
And who said David Casiello is not aware of what's going on as he waves to our camera, getting up, going back to the huddle. That time, Amity did a good job closing down as Spadaro came up and forced Chapman to throw his block. Not able to turn up the field, and the contain did a good job coming up and bringing up a 3rd and short for Seymour and their offensive unit.
Casiello, Mark Casiello to the bottom of your screen. Fritz in motion. Mastro for the first down, barrels across the 45 before he's taken down by Youngberg.
Bring that one back. We had two people in motion at the same time for Seymour, and it's going to bring up a third and about 6 as the tight end for Seymour was still getting set while the motion man was coming back toward us, and that will be a penalty. Illegal motion, as you see. Dickey Hildebrand will bring the ball back if Amity chooses to accept it, and there's no doubt they will, seeing that Seymour made the first down.
And they're talking it over with Captain Matt Floyd. Matt Floyd, one of the captains for the 1988 season here at for Amity. We mentioned before, Paul Wilson hurt a few weeks ago, a broken hand. Out of this football game, we also mentioned earlier on that Craig Johnson was lost for his final game here in Woodbridge. Craig hurt in practice during the week, the other knee, and he underwent a second knee operation. Fall of 1988. Hasn't been a good one for Craig Johnson.
He's kept Dr. Reversa busy over the last couple of weeks with 2 knee operations. Similar, both very similar injuries that he has had to the cartilage, and has hopefully be able to recover and play baseball. He's an outstanding pitcher on the baseball team.
Tanner completes the pass for the first down to Glenn Fritz, and the line of scrimmage now coming up to the 47 of Amity, as Seymour has just about been able to do anything they want to do offensively. The Cats with that big, imposing offensive line. I formation. Fritz goes in motion. Fake inside, play action, Tanner throws, and incompleted pass. If Fritz was the intended receiver at the 30-yard line.
Fritz was wide open also as he broke out of the middle, coming out on a kind of corner route, and he was wide open. Justin Tanner just unable to get him the football. 2nd and 10 for the Seymour Wildcats. They're inside the 50-yard line. 8:29 left to go here in this third quarter of football.
Reminder that at the conclusion of the football game, the awarding of the Fitzpatrick's Player of the Game Award. Fritz in motion. Tanner looking to throw.
Wide open.
And it's a completed pass to Fritz again. It looks like it's another first down at the 33 of Amity.
Tanner again just starting to his right and then coming back to the left. Found Fritz coming under the secondary and behind the linebackers on a little bootleg type action for another big first down, as Justin Tanner really has been able to pick apart that Amity defense all afternoon here.
Once again, the spread formation. Casiello to the bottom part of your picture. The upper part, that is Fritz. Single setback.
Boy, they set that screen up very well.
David Casiello, Chapman in front of him, bopping people down. And Casiello rumbles inside the 20-yard line before he's stopped by number 43, Dieter Lindskog.
Chapman just gave Melchior a major greeting here. Watch as they set the screen up very well. Youngberg gets the quarterback, but not before he releases it. Watch Chapman here take 55 right down. And then the rest of the Seymour offensive line getting a piece of that Amity defense as it's another first down for the Wildcats.
All inside the 20-yard line of Amity. Mastro slot to the right side, single setback. That's Casiello, and he gets the handoff from Tanner. This time inside, it's plugged up inside. Fine job. John Melchior hit the hole along with Bill Bolanio and John Priano.
Priano gets him first here as they're spreading him out pretty good along the front. Coming off the block is Priano right there with an excellent tackle.
Also, Jason Richitellian on the play for Amity. So Spartans are hanging tough there.
They are hanging tough. They're forcing Seymour to drive the length of the football field. As we saw, 16 first downs is an indication that Seymour has control of the ball, but there are no big plays in that touchdown drives. And Amity has held very tough here, considering that they are really outmanned at the line of scrimmage.
Under a rush is Tanner, and he finally gets it off for a short gain. He was hounded by Darren Murray.
Seymour is going to a spread. They are going to single back, so they're putting an awful lot of people along the line of scrimmage and creating a lot of opportunities for their offensive backs to run. With that big offensive line, they are certainly able to outman the Amity defensive front by just the basic fact that they have 8 and 9 people on the line of scrimmage as they're moving and creating a lot of problems defensively for Amity, and then with that big front being able to take advantage of mismatches all along the front.
3rd and 10, and Tanner throws it out incomplete to the far side of the field. The intended receiver was Fritz.
And there's Coach Marazzi, who has done really a spectacular job in less than 2 years. He's only had him in the weight room for a year and a half, and that's a big thing nowadays in high school football. The weights, as you can see the difference in the upper body of the Seymour people and the Amity people, and they're still behind at Amity, and they're going to have to catch up, and I know they're working hard to do it. Hopefully the young men who are on the sidelines watching what is happening with that upper body strength will be able to make a difference in 1 or 2 years in the program.
4th and 10 at the 18. Tanner rolls, throws into the end zone. A receiver out there, up for grabs, incomplete. Gray, the intended receiver, and 4 Spartans on the defensive for Amity. Spadaro among them, along with Steve DeMeo and Melchior.
Tanner throws it up into covers. There are 4 black jerseys around the football, but with a receiver like Gray, he goes up. There's always an opportunity to catch the football. Good job by Spadaro and Linskog on the coverage as Amity will take over their second possession in the second half.
So the Spartans have held after the long sustained drive by Seymour at the line of scrimmage, the 18-yard line. Seymour leads at 21-0. Split backs for Amity. Quarterback is Hulcher. Loose ball. Dedman, the ball carrier, the fullback, and Amity has held on to the football.
Todd Elliott almost takes the handoff. He comes through clean. Watch 51 right there. There's the handoff, and Elliott is right there. Luckily, Dedman is able to cover the football. It was not a clean exchange at the mesh point for Amity, and again, on offense, they have self-destructed pretty much all afternoon here. They have not been able to generate any positive offense other than that 1 first down on the last possession.
2nd and 10. Steve DeMeo goes in motion from the flanker spot. The pitch out, Luciani trying to near side, and he's upended. Ed Dahl, number 31, in it, outside linebacker, along with Scott Elliott. Ed Dahl, 5'1", 130-pound senior outside linebacker.
That play goes to Justin Tanner, number 22. He came up and cornered and prevented the Luciani from getting to the outside and allowed Dow to come up and make the tackle, but Justin Tanner will get credit for that play with 4:44 left to go here in this third quarter. For Amity, the clock cannot go fast enough here.
3rd and 10. Line of scrimmage to 17 of Amity in the third quarter, down 21-0. Hulcher back to throw, winds up, throws downfield as a receiver out there. It is almost picked off by Glenn Fritz. The intended receiver was Spadaro. With a break in the action, our score, Seymour 21, Amity nothing. Let's take this timeout. Welcome back, everyone. 4th down coming up for Amity after the incompleted pass. Just as Buddy has mentioned throughout the day, unable to get on track offensively. They have made Seymour work on offense. Seymour has moved up and down the field, but Amity's played them tough defensively. Hollick back to punt. Glenn Fritz
comes out of the pack.
Squirms out of the pack. He doesn't want to go down, does Glenn Fritz, and he gets down to the Amity Spartan 41.
Nice job by Glenn Fritz on the return. Held his ground with the initial onslaught of the tacklers. Watch right here as he holds his own, looks for an opening, and then will just come through. Barnes does not get him down, and Fritz runs into his own player, or he might have gotten more yardage as finally he's dragged to the ground near the 40-yard line of the Amity Spartans.
So let's set the backfield. That is Joel Mastro. You now see in a slot to the right side, Costiello, the tailback, with the football. Methodically moving it up to the center of the field behind the center, Todd Elliott, and the guard, Scott Elliott and Jason Chapman. And while we're mentioning the line, let's also include the tackles, Sean Lepresti and Brian Gross, the tight end, Mike Gray.
And they're running right over Lepresti and Gray at that side of the line, again for great yardage first down carries, they have made 5 to 7 yards every time they've touched the football, and that has been a key because on second down they are pretty much able to do anything they want, either to pass or run.
Offset I formation. Casiello for some tough yardage as the middle of that Amity defense plugs it up. Matt Floyd, Captain Matt Floyd at the bottom of that pile. Matt, a 6'1", 190-pound senior captain.
And a tribute to the Floyd family is that their other son, Ricky Floyd, was a captain here 2 years ago for the Amity Spartans. Both Matt and Ricky Floyd have been outstanding football players here in their careers at Amity High School.
Let's mention, too, that Matt Floyd is playing defensive tackle today in place of the injured Paul Wilson. Matt Floyd, normally a linebacker on defense. There's the pitch out. Casiello. Stopped by Linskog in the secondary, but not before the Wildcats have picked up still another first down.
Here comes that ever-familiar 67, leading Casiello. That's Chapman as he turns out, allows Casiello to get down for another big first down. The Wildcats just methodically running at the Spartans 5 to 10 yards every time they touch the football here this morning, and really the Spartans have been unable to do anything about it. They are just undermanned at the line of scrimmage.
Again, the give is to Casiello as he slides for 1 yard on the play. Tied up by number 72 for Amity, Jim Gooch, now in on defense for Amity.
Amity has got a lot of young people in there. They're getting a chance to taste a little bit of varsity action. Gooch, a sophomore. Youngberg, a sophomore. Darren Murray, a junior. Certainly a lot of young people playing, and I know Coach Marazzi's got to be pleased about that.
Second down. Tanner looking to put it up. As a receiver out there, incomplete, just out of the outstretched hands of Glenn Fritz at the 5-yard line. Priano along with Linskog on the coverage for Amity. Bring up now a third down for the Cats as they are at the 29-yard line of, make that the 24 of Amity.
The time that Justin Tanner has is the difference in the ability of Seymour to throw the football. He has not been touched in the pocket. He has been able to sit back there, and he has open lanes for vision and also to throw the football.
Gray goes in motion. Play action, check that. Casiello gets the football, or is that Mastro?
Mastro with a draw.
Darren Murray wrestles him down at that point. And a fourth down coming up, but before we go to that fourth down, let's take a look back now at our flashback. Jay Hillman, the lone setback in the one-back Seymour offense, scored from 9 yards out early in the second quarter. Late in the third quarter, with the Wildcats pinned back to their 7-yard line in a 7-7 tie, Hillman began a game-winning drive with his spectacular run and hurdle. On the same series, well into the fourth quarter, Hillman gained a first down on 4th and 1, and then moments later scored the winning touchdown on a 4th and goal. The final score was Seymour 14, Amity 7. Welcome back, everyone. 4th down, 4-down territory for the Cats. As they're inside the 25-yard line, they have to get 6 for the first down. Shotgun.
He's got the corner.
Tanner. Incompleted pass intended for Mike Gray, coming across the middle. Dieter Linskog on the defensive play.
And that's a lot of young Seymour or Amity people who have done a good job in stopping the Wildcats on that drive. Tanner comes out to the outside again, no pressure. He sits and then throws, tries to hit Gray in a group there, and ball is knocked away by Linskog and the linebackers. But Amity, good job defensively, as they have done a good job at moments here during this football game against the Seymour offensive group.
Under a minute to go here in the third quarter. The line of scrimmage to 22. You see Spadaro going in motion, the I formation. And Kenny Luciani is the ball carrier off the right side. He's upended after a pickup of 3 yards on the play. Tanner and Ed Dahl around the football for Seymour.
Luciani comes off tackle on the blast. Deadman kicking out right there. Seymour starting to get some new people into the football game also, as Luciani picks up about 3 yards. 64, Jim Mitchell, man that Dedman kicked out on that play. He is a senior, 5'9", 175-pounder, playing now at the defensive end position.
He's in for Brian Gross at one of the defensive end spots. That's Luciani going nowhere as he is popped in the backfield. Flag is dropped on the play.
I think they're going to get a late hit in there on that against Seymour.
That is the end of the quarter, as the officials discussed.
No time is showing on the scoreboard clock as you look at the officials talking it over on the last play on that second down carry by Amity. And we have played 3 quarters here at Sim Field in Woodbridge, and our score is Seymour 21, Amity nothing.
Signal is holding against Amity.
Welcome back, everyone, and the officials still huddling in on the field, and we'll see if we can sort things out here. We have completed 3 quarters of play here at Sim Field in Woodbridge, and in the season finale for these traditional rivals, Amity Regional of Woodbridge and Seymour High School. Seymour leads at 21-0. They've been in control throughout the football game. Amity just unable to get untracked. Wildcats coming in, of course, to this football game with a record of 7-2, 6-2 in Housatonic League play. And Amity, the reverse side, 2-7 overall, and 2-6 in league play.
You got to pull out a pink.
So now the indication.
That holding penalty against Amity was declined by Seymour.
I was really correct on that one when I said a late hit, huh? I was right on that call.
Holding penalty against the Spartans. It was declined by Seymour, and Amity now has a 3rd and 8, and the ball is resting at the Amity 24-yard line as we begin matters here in the 4th and final quarter from overcast skies at Sim Field in Woodbridge. Hulcher back to throw, under a rush. Gross hits him, and it pops into the hand of Hollick, and Hollick is now met by a few of the Cats for a sizable loss on the play at the 20-yard line.
I wonder if that's going to go as a completion or a fumble. I think it will go as a fumble because his forward arm motion is not coming ahead. But watch as Hulcher tries to find a place to go, and you're not going to outrun this group here as Gross gets him. And that's going to go as a fumble. It popped up in the air. Todd Hollick right on the spot, but no place to go once he grabbed in the football. And the Spartans again will have to punt. And there he is, a future coach going over his playbook, getting ready for next year's spring practice.
Amity will be kicking it off. Hollick is going to throw from punt formation, and it's caught by Linskog. Todd Hollick completing it to Linskog up in midfield, and hold the phone. There is a flag down on the field.
The Spartans pulling out all stops here in the last quarter. We've got a problem here because the referee is coming back to the spot, and we'll probably get a guy downfield, which might be the most obvious of calls, and that's what it's going to be. Some lineman forgot and just took off.
That's the preliminary indication for Dick Hildebrand.
Replay, we'll see if anyone leaves. Spadaro has a right to leave. We'll see as the ball goes across the line of scrimmage, you see anyone downfield. Tough to call, but that's the call by the referee. We have a player with a 60, 50, or 70 on his back who has exceeded the line of scrimmage on the pass play. So it was a highlight for the highlight film, but it's going to be brought back.
Being marched off against Amity. Ineligible man downfield.
May not want to rile up those Seymour players, though, with that type of play at this point. But it was certainly a great call. We'll see if they choose to kick the football and if Seymour chooses to send everyone on the block.
Ball now at the marked at the 15-yard line. Hollick this time inside his 5-yard line, and chances are he's going to kick the football away, and he does, and he gets off another fine punt. One of the positives here for Amity today, Hollick's punt is going to roll dead inside the 25-yard line.
So Hollick with a pass completion and then an excellent punt. He is a junior tight end who Hey, Warrecki, you son of a gun. Whoop.
We got a winner of the game ball. I'm sorry, the 50-50 raffle, pardon me.
So the punt rolls dead inside the 25. The ball rolls dead at the 21 where the Cats will operate. We're in the fourth quarter of play. Cable 10 Sports Valley High School football game of the week. In this Housatonic League matchup between these traditional rivals.
And Seymour's won everything here as Frank Warrecki just grabbed the 50-50 raffle from Seymour. It's been a truly clean-out day for the Wildcats.
Justin Tanner throws it downfield, incomplete in front of the Amity bench and intended for Glenn Fritz, who is certainly under consideration for our Fitzpatrick's Player of the Game award.
Fritz coming out and running a corner. You see him breaking out in the bottom of your picture. Tanner just overthrows him as again he is going to the sidelines. Brings up a second down for the Wildcats. 10:04 left to go here, and it won't be long before Seymour begins to take those senior players out of the football game.
Two wide receivers either side of the field. Gray will go in motion on the second down and 2nd and 10. And that is Joel Mastro with some real estate ahead of him. Joel Mastro across the 40 to the 43-yard line. The senior fullback, 5'9", 185-pound senior.
Excellent run as Mastro comes back on the counter. Chapman kicks out, and he just begins to outrun people. Tackles again missed by the Spartans, but he gets down across the 40 to about the 43-yard line of the Seymour Wildcats. Mastro has had a great day today offensively carrying that football.
Mastro slot to the left side. A single setback is Casiello. Fritz goes in motion on first down for Seymour. And Casiello gets the football, and he bangs his way forward to the 45-yard line. Stopped by Priano, met him at the hole, along with number 41, now in on defense, Chris Costanza.
Chris Costanza is a nephew to Rich Kavanaugh, who very, very happily has been rehired at Southern Connecticut. He deserves the support of all of the people and alumni at Southern. He's an outstanding coach, and the problems at Southern are not Rich Kavanaugh, and very happy to see that he's been rehired.
Second down, pouring in.
Picked it up,
Tanner.
Nathan.
That is Nathan Youngberg with the football, and Youngberg rolls it in and runs it into the end zone. Hitting him was Hollick. Hollick hit Tanner in the backfield, and Nathan Youngberg, 6'5", 215-pound sophomore defensive end, ran it in.
Nathan Youngberg is going to pick up the loose football. Hollick comes on a blitz. He just strips the football. Youngberg presence to pick it up and to be convoyed into the end zone with a touchdown here as the Spartans positive turnaround here as they are in the end zone, 21-6. And Amity has to take a timeout to get their kicking team on the field. Certainly you see number 77, a young sophomore who has a lot of football ahead of him here at Sim Field. And along with that other young group of defensive players, certainly have something to cheer about here with 8:34 left to go here in this fourth quarter of football.
And you know, buddy, we said at the outcast of the telecast that Amity
the outcast of the telecast. I like that. That's better. Okay, go ahead. I had to catch you one
First
time.
mistake I made in '88. The outset of the telecast, we said that Amity Regional, decided underdog the last several years against Seymour, has come into this football game. They've given Seymour all they could handle.
They certainly have, and I know Seymour may have been a little generous here throughout the game, but right now 21-6, they will, I think, keep that starting unit in there and look to crank one more touchdown out here. Coach Mrazzi coming off the field after the timeout. And Paul Wilson, who has a broken hand, is going to get an opportunity to kick an extra point, and that, I think, is really gratifying. Paul been unable to play here because of the broken hand, and will get an opportunity to try and kick an extra point.
I think it's a great gesture on the part of
And he's going to kick
Coach
it through.
Ozzie. And Wilson does not disappoint. Paul Wilson out of action with that broken hand. The holder was Steve DeMeo. And hold the phone. We have a 21-7 football game.
Considering the way the game has gone for Amity to be this close at this point, in score it is close. On the field, it's not even a contest. But football's a funny game, and we said earlier that the Seymour Wildcats didn't want to let Amity hang around at the end. 8 minutes and 39 seconds, and suddenly the Spartans may start to believe a little bit in themselves, and if nothing else, it may carry over for next season with the Spartans in the weight room.
Well, we had Amity, the only other game we've had them on Valley Cablevision.
Took Derby to the wire.
10-0,
right to the wire.
And Derby did not get on the scoreboard until the final quarter in that football game.
Right. It's a funny sport, and I know everyone who's coached the sport knows what I'm saying. One or two players or a couple breaks in the course of a season can certainly make a difference in a football team. It's tough when you start going the wrong way and you start losing, and it's a tribute to the kids when they're losing to come out every week. And just for Amity, the fact that they've been able to hold on and to play Seymour tough and to play the football teams tough is an indication to the coaching staff and the type of individuals, and the credit to the kids is they're going to try right now to get another one here.
Joe Audie, it did not go the required 10 yards, and it will be Seymour's football at the 46-yard line of Amity on the attempted onside. Seymour leads at 21-7, but we had that unexpected chain of events a few moments ago. Hollick hitting Tanner, and Nathan Youngberg picking up the loose football and rambling into the end zone.
That's why coaches will tell you, you never have enough points, and anything can sway the momentum of a football game and turn it around.
Mastro in the slot, Fritz in motion, single setback is Casiello, and the give is to Casiello, barrels off the left side, slides to the 40-yard line. Cats at this point just want to guard this margin that they're winning by, and end up at 8-2.
Casiello straight ahead again. They have made excellent yardage all day right up the middle. Number 20 there is another guy I know. They have been able to drive that inside tackles back off the football all day.
Let the record show that was Tim Chernovitz on the Amity sidelines.
Moved
Tanner tackled again as he hands off to Casiello, and David Casiello slides inside the 30-yard line. Amity going for Tanner. John Melchior on the tackle.
Somebody got
for
a piece
Amity.
of Tanner early right there. That's again Hollick who got him. Tanner was able to get the ball off Casiello for the first down, but that's something that Seymour is going to have to solve real quick, because they have twice in the last 3 plays had that inside tackle on the quarterback before he has gotten the exchange. And there's a picture of contentment. Man and his best friend.
Fritz in motion. Mastro slot to the left. Casiello, a play that's worked all day long for the Cats as Casiello gets to the 20. Priano on the stop for Amity.
Wildcats may have got a little upset at that last touchdown here, and they want to get into the end zone. Straight ahead again, coming up the middle, untouched for about 12 yards. Casiello, second and short as he picks up 9 yards as you look right down that line of scrimmage.
Split backs for the Cats. The give to the fullback, that's Mastro, fighting his way to the 11-yard line. Joel Mastro, and another Seymour Wildcat first down. Clock is running here at Sim Field. We're in the 4th quarter, final regular season contest for these teams. And if Seymour holds on to any part of this lead, we'll wait and see as to whether they get into any postseason action. First down, a line of scrimmage, the 11. I formation, Mastro the fullback. Tanner throws on first down. It is a touchdown to Mike Gray, slanted in. And the Wildcats have put up their 4th score of the football game.
Tanner just hits Gray slanting right across. And he is pulled down but into the end zone for the touchdown. Mike Gray, 11-yard touchdown pass from Justin Tanner. Tanner's 3rd touchdown pass of the day. Seymour 27, Amity 7, and it didn't take him long to get that touchdown back.
And Tanner will be holding on the extra point. Anderson, the freshman, will attempt the point. It is up, it is good. And a little bit under 6 minutes to go in this football game. Seymour leads it 28-7. Let's take this timeout. Welcome back, everyone. The Seymour Wildcats apparently have salted this football game away after Amity's touchdown by the defense. A few moments ago, the Cats took the ensuing kickoff, methodically moved it downfield, and Justin Tanner, the senior quarterback, who's had just a marvelous 1988 season, connected with Gray from 11 yards out, and the extra point tacked on, and that's where we stand, 28-7 Seymour. Spadaro on the other end. And Spadaro up close to the 40-yard line before the few of the Cats put a stop to him, led by Chris Pranetta, along with number 78 for Seymour, Chris Larkin.
Inside, now trying to come to this sideline. Spadaro running out of real estate as he'll get knocked out of bounds. Brings it up close to the 38-yard line as Seymour has a lot of young faces, New Jerseys, into that football game here as we are winding down in this 4th quarter.
First down for Amity, the ball at the 38-yard line. Seymour 28, Amity 7. Give to the upback, the fullback, Dedman. Brett Dedman, 6 foot, 185-pound sophomore, also a linebacker on defense. He's going to be heard from in the next couple of years.
He's already been heard from this year, but he's certainly, all of his football is ahead of him. He's a sophomore, good size, excellent speed, and he's played both the tailback and fullback position, and he's had some pretty good success in this year of football, especially on the JV level. He's been very difficult to stop, and his dad is a former Amity High player, and Brett's going to have a great future ahead of him if he gets in that weight room and works.
Ulcher, pitch out, Luciani. Luciani eludes a tackle and gets some good yardage on the far side of the field before he's dragged down.
Luciani did most of that himself. He's been trying to get yardage by himself all afternoon. Hulcher is banged but gets the pitch off, and then Luciano sidestep right there and get down close to that first down marker as he's dragged down. Short, about a yard and a half short of that first down.
And the tackle made by Justin Tanner, who just might drive the team bus back to Seymour today.
He's done everything else all year for them. And
Long one. Take it 2.
3rd and short. Ulcher, play action, swings it out, incomplete, intended for Luciani out of the backfield. It goes incomplete. Ed Dahl closest on the coverage for Seymour. 5'1", 130-pound senior outside linebacker. And Paul Sponheimer says that Ed Dahl has a heart as big as anyone.
it's a tribute to a lot of those seniors on both sides who have practiced all year, had very little time in the game, but who've stayed with the program and get an opportunity at some point just to get in and to show that they are capable young men and football players who have paid their dues to get in.
Well, 4th and short with the line of scrimmage to 47. Of course, Amity going for it. Spadaro in motion. Hulcher is the quarterback. Hulcher rolling, running the football, tied up, and will not get the first down. By the left side of that Seymour defense, I see Chapman, Burchell getting up off the pile. And Seymour has held on downs, and they'll take over with 4 minutes and change left here at Sim Field on an overcast November day. Seymour will go to an 8-2 record on the for the final regular season record, 7-2 in league play. Amity will drop to 2-8 on the season, 2-7 in Housatonic League play. First down, the ball at the 47-yard line of Amity. Fritz is in motion. Banged again is Tanner. A loose football. And falling on it is number 72, Jim Gooch.
I'm surprised that Pollock has been cleaned through there 3 times, caused 2 fumbles, and the mistake that Seymour is making, I don't know whether guard is pulling or they're just giving up that lane, but Pollock has had a great series here, 3 times through at the quarterback, causing 2 fumbles. Jamie Gooch able to get on it, number 72 for the Spartans, and they're setting up right at midfield. Excellent defensive series for the Spartans.
Every time I count Amity out, they come back in this football game. 2 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. Holster on first down, throwing it out and completing it. Spadaro, 40-yard line, still in bounds, and Spadaro fights to the 30-yard line. Mike Spadaro finally taken down by Chris Pranetta.
I think you're watching Greg Hulcher, who has some excellent ability. He needs some time back there as he throws a bullet. Spadaro on an excellent turnout, and then we'll break some tackles right here as he goes up the field. Fritz misses him. Elliott, Pranetta finally gets him along with Maroney Bichelle, but the Spartans down at the 30-yard line.
In motion, Spadaro on a 1st and 10 for Amity. The I formation. Hulcher wants to throw under a rush and brought down. A loose football. A loose ball, and let's see how they rule it. Moroni Burchell was in on Hulcher, and they're going to give the football to Seymour.
Burchell came through untouched. It's the outside linebacker who just came inside the tackle. Nobody picks him up. Watch 46 right there. He's clean. Hulcher now should have put the ball away. Again, inexperience. Leaves it out there, and the turnover for Seymour as they will bring their first unit back out on the field, and that to me is surprising with 2:28 left to go here. They're still playing that number 1 unit.
2.5 minutes to go in the game.
First down for Seymour at the 44. Dave Casiello, he is stuck at the line of scrimmage.
Number 55.
55, Melchior from his linebacker spot.
And now Coach Sponheimer starting to take out some of those starters, the seniors. As right here, coming across the line of scrimmage, Casiello was drilled right there by Melchior. And Seymour now, Brian Grass leaving the game, and the seniors are going to be taken out and receive that due applause from their sidelines for an outstanding season, an outstanding 4 years of football for some of these senior football players at Seymour.
Offset I formation. Tanner on the option, pitches out. That's Casiello with the football with some real estate in front of him, some free real estate in front of him, and David gets down to the 40-yard line before he's stopped by Melchior and Linskog.
And I'll tell you, after that hit on quarterback Justin Tanner, he'd be the next guy out of there. Watch Tanner get drilled right here as he gets rid of the football. There's his knee coming back under him. Casiello gets outside. Seymour may have another game, and I'll tell you, they're going to need Justin Tanner and a number of those football players if they play that next football game. This game is in the bag. They don't need those kids playing anymore.
First down, a line of scrimmage, the 40-yard line of Amity. Gray goes in motion as we wind things down here at Sim Field. Casiello slides inside the 35 to the 33-yard line.
And 54 on the tackle for Amity.
Number 21 in on defense for Amity, Scott Goodridge on the tackle for Amity.
Again, just straight ahead, the success that they've had all day. Casiello right up the middle. And I'll tell you, I don't know the stats, but I wouldn't be surprised if both Mastro and Casiello are over 100 yards in this football game.
Going off
both had outstanding games
going
running
off
the football.
Going off the field, Scott Elliott as some of the clean white jerseys on that offensive line replaced the starters on offense.
35.
Again, that is Casiello running the football inside the 32, the 26-yard line.
The Amity 26.
And another first down for the Seymour Wildcats, who have accumulated a tremendous amount of first downs in this football game, and all the stats will belong to the Cats. Gray comes out of the lineup, and Moroni Burchell checks in at the tight end spot. Tanner inside, the new fullback in there Ed Dow ran out of the fullback spot.
41, Chris Costanza.
2 seconds are showing on the scoreboard clock.
35, Chris McGinnis. All in on the tackle.
And timeout is taken by Seymour.
With 2 seconds left in the game.
As they get out the remaining starters are taken out of the football game, and they clear that bench. Justin Tanner going off, Todd Elliott, and they'll just take one more snap from center. The new quarterback will be the sophomore Pete Del Toro, 5'9", 165 pounds, sophomore quarterback. Hey, buddy, before I get a chance, before we forget, let me thank our spotter, assistant manager for Seymour, Ken Wynn, who has helped us out here in the press box at Sim Field in Woodbridge. Ken, the second consecutive week working as our spotter, second consecutive week in terms of Seymour football.
Final play of the game coming up.
Second down, Del Toro is the quarterback, and he'll just simply take the snap, and he hands off. Running the football, number 48, that's the freshman sensation, Billy Brooks, inside the 10-yard line, and that'll do it down to the 5-yard line. We've wrapped things up here at Sim Field in Woodbridge. Our final, Seymour 28, Amity 7, back with the presentation of the Fitzpatrick's Player of the Game Award after these messages.
A hand for our cheerleaders and our band as well.
In Woodbridge, our final score, Seymour 28, Amity Regional 7. On behalf of Buddy Chernovitz, Ed Clemens saying goodbye, everyone.